Red uniforms, Bearcats in their home whites. The tip is up. The Bearcats do not win the tip for only the second time this season. Miami will have a chance to strike first as we are underway here in Clifton. Rollins, the point guard, drops it down low. Now he'll get it back. Bearcats showing some zone defense to start it up here, Terry.
Yeah, it's more of a sagging man-to-man defense, and they're trying to give zone principles.
Edwards out between the rings. Shot clock is down to 8 for Miami here in their first possession of the ball game. Edwards drives. Yancey turns him away. Then he floats it up, rattles around, pops off, and Yancey will get the rebound.
And that's good patience defensively by Yancey, knowing that Edwards is 3 inches shorter and wants to utilize the pump fake.
So Cincinnati now an opportunity to tally first. As I mentioned, same starting lineup for the 6th consecutive game. Dixon, the 3-ball, got it. And for the 6th consecutive game, the Bearcats on the board first.
Yeah, Sullivan, as a freshman, got to understand, you don't leave the #1 3-point shooter for UC wide open in the corner.
So good to see from Deion Dixon. Now the Bearcats going to put the defensive pressure on. Can Kilpatrick save it? No, he cannot. He goes into the Bearcats bench. Mentioned the all-time series in favor of Cincinnati, 94-53. This dates back to 1905. That's even before you played here, huh, partner?
Yeah, I think I was in kindergarten.
Kindergarten, 1905? I was going to say you were in kindergarten in 1990, but I was trying to give you some
actually
credit.
older than I look. Yeah.
You were in there. You were in here a few years after that. 1990, the last time that Miami was able to win a game against Cincinnati. Rollins setting it up right now. Going to turn around and get rid of it again. The shot clock running low at 5 right now for the Redhawks. Sullivan over to Mafunga down low, and that's a foul you don't like to see with 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, you had great defensive patience in the previous possession down low, but Yancey can't pick up cheap fouls jumping.
Right.
You want to be the primary defender. You shouldn't block the shot. You always rely on your secondary defender. You had Justin Jackson coming from behind.
So that means a fresh shot clock for the Redhawks with a $1:30 gone, and they don't do much with it. Turnover on the inbounds back.
They got a turnover, but they also caused a foul on Yancey. That's more important because Charlie Coles appreciates the dead ball turnovers opposed to the free-flowing turnovers where you can't really defend.
The turnovers have been an issue for this team. Miami, through their first 4 games, averaging 17 turnovers per contest. 3-ball, Sean Kilpatrick, nothing but net.
Yeah, they will do this all game, and it's a good sign that Kilpatrick and Dixon both got off in the first few possessions.
Well, if they do that the entire game against the Redhawks, it's going to be a very long night for Charlie Coles. What did he tell us when we talked to him about 2 hours ago? He said, we never play well here inside this gym.
That's why they moved it to downtown.
US Bank for a while. Yeah. He hasn't been here in a while. The Bearcats actually played up in Millett Hall last year. Cincinnati playing some defense right there. Kashmir Wright going to run in transition.
Attack. Got to look down low.
Well, Bearcats were looking for something. Nobody had a shot, and they pull it out and reset the offense. Kilpatrick dead onto the bucket. Cincinnati shutting out Miami thus far. Another 3-pointer. This one won't fall. Hit their first 2. But the Bearcats couldn't get one from Kashmir Wright. Miami the rebound, and they'll continue to search for their first points of the night.
Yeah, this is a tough matchup for Yancey, and Yancey's going to have to be up for the challenge. You'll really tell in his closeouts because this guy will step in and out.
3-ball for John Harris. Justin Jackson cleans it up after it falls off.
Interesting to see if they can establish Yancey down low right here.
There they go. It's tipped away. Nearly goes out of bounds. Somehow Miami. Great move in the corner. That was Bill Edwards, the redshirt sophomore, tracking it down and not going out of bounds.
It's interesting to see right here what they do defensively, the Cats, and then Miami's going to look for some type of perimeter diversion.
3+ minutes, and Miami still not yet on the board. However, they only trail by 6. Shot fake there from Mafunga. Lost the ball, regained control, turned, and couldn't get a friendly bounce. Had a great look at the bucket.
Yeah, that's the second time Yancey bit on the pump fake. Better to let a guy shoot a 3-pointer with an outstretched arm than to jump and allow him to penetrate and put your defense at risk.
Here's Jackson, give and go to Dixon. Turns, had a great look. Gates will grab the rebound and hammer it through.
The big fella, Gates coming over the top. And Charlie said, I've seen enough. Charlie, that you don't box out the best player on the floor.
Well, it's led to an early 8-0 lead for the red and black of the University of Cincinnati. Bearcats 3 of 5 from the field. Long 3 there. That was well short for Bill Edwards. Rebound all the way into the corner. Miami's going to recover.
You see the nice step back between the legs move by Bill Edwards. He's got great bloodlines.
Young man averaging 12 points, 8 rebounds per game coming in. There he is, driving the baseline, throws it up, doesn't fall through, knocked out of bounds. And the basketball will go to Cincinnati and big man Yancey Gates throwing it down with authority off the miss by Deion Dixon. Season 10 rebounds per game through the first 4 for the Redhawks. Bearcats with the basketball coming out of the timeout following the ball knocked out of bounds by Miami. Kilpatrick working along the perimeter. Have yet to see either team go to the bench.
Got him down low.
Here's Justin Jackson trying to get into the lane. Double team is there. He's patient, turns and won't fall through. And the rebound knocked out of bounds by Justin Jackson. Good effort, but didn't get the end result.
Yeah, I thought it went off Miami, but that's a bunny in the middle of the paint. Nice left hand release, but you have to finish that one.
So Miami in an 0 for 5 drought from the field to start this ball game. We'll set up offensively, and the Bearcats have done a nice job defensively thus far. And I'm sorry, Miami has gone to the bench as Joshua has checked in for the first time today. Underneath there is Julian Mavunga.
And you'd like to see Kashmir Wright drop down. He was close enough to drop down, make a play defensively, even take a charge.
Nice move underneath the hoop by Mavunga, who averages 20 points per game. Jackson trying to get it off to Kilpatrick. Tip, but SK able to recover. Now he's not. Loses the basketball. Rollins picks it up one-on-one. Battle with the point guards. Kashmir Wright says, I'm going to take it back.
I like that. You know, there's a turnover, you make up. That's how you become a leader. But I would also, on that play, like to see Justin Jackson and Yancey at least get to half court.
Cash, the floor general. Now a redshirt junior for 6th-year head coach Mick Cronin. Spots up 3 ball on the left side and knocks it home.
This could be one of those games where Cash is looking, the offense is not flowing for the Bearcats. Look for him to put up some numbers tonight.
3 3-pointers for Cincinnati on 4 attempts here in the first 6 minutes. What does that equal? A 9-point lead for Cincinnati. Rollins kicks it off Edwards, shot fake, back to Rollins, free throw strike. Off the back iron, that shot was flat.
Yeah, and it's not a bad job because, you know, you only got a guy shooting 20% from the 3-point line, but you don't want to give him an open look.
The Redhawks had good ball movement there. They just haven't been able to give any shots to fall thus far.
Oh.
Deion Dixon throwing it up, falls off the window and through and one.
And that's exactly what he did. He threw it up, it slipped out of his hand, and he just pushed it with his left. Had the awareness to at least get it up on the glass.
Bearcats go to the bench for the first time today. We'll see Sheikh Mooj checking in, the junior college transfer from Senegal. Justin Jackson went to the bench, thought he was the young man coming out. Wasn't the case. It'll be Yancey Gates sitting down. Cash will as well. There's another look at the Dixon bucket. And I'm sure he played quite a bit of street ball in Chicago growing up. That's a street ball move. That's not something they teach here in the gym in Division I practice.
Yeah, but that's one of those where the guy says, you didn't call glass. You don't need to call glass when it goes in.
No, you don't.
You try to do the same thing.
12-point lead for Cincinnati after Dixon hits the free throw. Cash Wright is taking a seat for Coach Cronin as well. And we see Geelong Quinn, the true freshman point guard for the first time today. John Harris getting it over to Bill Edwards. He has Mooj in his face. Mooj with the height advantage there.
This is the matchup I want to see right here. You got a great offensive player versus UC's best defensive player, and the great offense won in that.
Yeah, give the bucket to Mavunga. He has 4. All 4 points for the Redhawks as he cuts their deficit to 10. Now let's see what the Bearcats can do offensively with Quinn running the offense for the first time. Kilpatrick, long 2. A little bit too strong. Rebound poked out of bounds in the corner, and they will say that the basketball stays with Cincinnati. All Mikes are officials tonight. Mike Roberts, Mike Stewart, and Mike Eads.
I want to see if they want to come over here and grab this mic and tell us what's going on.
I'm just going to say Mike made the call from here on out.
Works for me.
Quinn going to set it up for Cincinnati. Feeds it off to Jackson. Now Deion Dixon curling to the bucket. Mike made the call. It's a charge, and it'll go back. Probably the right call there as Dixon was driving to the lane.
Yeah, but it looked like he skirted through and snuck through with not enough contact to actually call a charge. And that was a great acting job right there. He didn't even touch him. I'm familiar with that play.
maybe he caught some of those old tapes of 92 and 93 when Miami and Cincinnati played, and there was a young man by the name of Terry Nelson in there with a similar move.
Yeah, but this Mike Roberts, never gave me the call. I mean, he was pretty consistent in not giving me charge calls.
Now, I can tell the ones who gave you the calls as Miami turns it over. Brian Sullivan, the backup point guard for the Redhawks, dribbles it off his foot and right into the Miami bench. The guys who gave you that call, it's funny because before the game, they all come over and shake your hand and give you a big hug and say, Terry, good to see you again.
Yeah, I haven't seen Eddie Hightower. He didn't give me any.
Deion Dixon setting things up offensively for the Bearcats right now with a 10-point lead. Mood showing some range. Off the back iron, won't fall through. John Harris cleans it up for Miami, and the Redhawks going to waste no time in getting back to the offensive end.
You got to double down. You got to double down.
Brian Sullivan leaving it for Mavunga. Splits two defenders, won't fall through, but he draws a foul, the third team foul on the Bearcats here in now almost 8 minutes of basketball. We'll take another look at the play down low.
Now, right now, you would like to see the double down when the ball goes down low. The first time, before he kicked it back out, you double down, and when the ball goes back out, check doesn't go back out on the perimeter. You kick the guard over there so you can stay in the traditional set in order to protect the basket. You don't want a guy, a 6'1" guy, sitting over here on Mavunga. Mavunga does this all day long against great players, more or less 6'1" players.
Sheck Mooj picked up his first personal foul, and then he is promptly taken out of the game by Mick Cronin. Yancey Gates returns, as does Kashmir Wright, but Jelon Gwynn does not sit down. Instead, a breather for Deion Dixon. Bearcat starters have been playing a lot of minutes. Dixon averaging 34 minutes per game, Kilpatrick 35 minutes, Yancey 35 minutes, Kashmir Wright 32 minutes, and it didn't help they played 5 extra against Marshall. Gwynn, right side for the Cats. Just over 8 minutes gone, and the free throw made on the second attempt for Mavunga, who now has 5, cuts the Cincinnati advantage to 9. 8 on the shot clock for the Cats.
Yancey's not active enough down low.
Cash trying to cut, steps back, lets it go, no good. Quinn patient there on the rebound, then he'll fire it up. Second chance effort doesn't fall through for Cincinnati. Mavunga double team, gets rid of it. Sullivan top of the key, running the point for the Redhawks.
I'm looking at Sullivan with the ball. He doesn't look comfortable dribbling the basketball. That's a guy, when he touches the ball, you want to pressure.
He came in for Rollins. Bearcats show some pressure there. Get the steal, and Kashmir Wright quickly to the offensive end.
Oh, what a bad break.
Corner Gwynn, 18-footer, no. Offensive rebound, SK. Kilpatrick down low for Jackson on the block. Spinning the lane, left-handed hook shot won't fall. Now the Bearcats can't get any bounces off the rims here at Fifth Third Arena.
Has 2 bunnies with the left by Jackson. He's doing everything right. He's doing a little chicken wing on the block. He's getting in the paint, shooting a 3-footer, and he's just missing bunnies.
Another dribble off the foot of Brian Sullivan. He was able to recover, then loses it out of all 148 now. Actually, only 16 seasons. You saw the grimace there.
Oh, man, I love Charlie.
Down by 9. Charlie, always good to chat with. Interesting when we talked to him today. Talked a little bit about how road's coming to an end as a head coach.
Yeah, he says it's coming. The tread on the tires are starting to wear out a little bit. And
looking like racing tires.
Yeah, exactly.
Wouldn't be surprised. Maybe after this year, as the horn goes off for his Redhawks, doesn't fall through, but he'll like that offensive rebound. Might be this year, maybe even next year that Charlie calls it quits. He told us it'd be by the end of next year. We'll wait and see on that.
You never met a man that's so conversational.
Oh, we could have sat there and talked to him all night, but we had to get to work. Redhawks trying to get to work here. They have struggled from the field. First 3-pointer of the ball game for Miami falls through there. The shot by Josh Sewell, player Coach Cole's trying to get. Substitutions for Coach Cronin coming out of the called timeout. Jermaine Sanders in for the first time, and Sheck Mooj in for Justin Jackson. He's had missed time to jump in that last play.
Now, Yancey's got to throw it out. He's got to be a facilitator on the block. When he catches that ball and he dribbles, they converge on him. He's got to throw a better pass out to the perimeter. And one.
Here's Jermaine Sanders. Doesn't fall through. but he does draw the foul on Bill Edwards. That is his first, team second on the Red Hawks. And Sanders getting ahead to the stripe where he is just 1 for 4 on the young season. Bearcats struggle from the free throw line as of late. They're shooting only 60% on the season. Free throw rims around forever and falls through.
Sanders will realize next year, after a whole season of being with Dave, the strength trainer, sitting on the end of the bench, that those plays right there must be and ones. I mean, that was a very makeable shot. He broke through the Matador defense and he put it up on the glass, not strong enough.
Hits the front end, misses the back end, pushes Cincinnati's lead to 7. 9 minutes remaining, first half here in Clifton. Sewell with Sanders standing in his face. Sean Kilpatrick on the bench for the first time as Sanders checked in. Rollins kicked it over to Mavunga. 3-ball, he hammers it home. That's his 6th tray of the year. Maybe a little bit of deceiving range for Jonathan Mavunga.
But he's capable. I don't think UC can continue to play with this lineup with Check Mooj and Yancey on the floor. Justin Jackson must play, and that must be Justin Jackson's responsibility stopping Mavunga because he can do so many things on the floor that Yancey is not capable of on the perimeter defensively.
8 points for Mavunga. He had 7 last year in a loss to the Bearcats at Millett Hall. Right now, Cincinnati's lead is down to 4. Gates trying to extend it, gets down to the baseline, tries to throw it up like Deion Dixon did, but it was way too strong. And the shot no good. Miami a chance to inch closer. Red Hawks started this game 0 for 5 from the field. Since then, 4 of 6 shooting. And what was once a 12-point deficit is now 4. There's Mavunga, gets swatted away. Yancey says, get it out of here.
Well, what Yancey did is use the backboard as another defender, forced him baseline, and just put a hand up on the pump.
Nearly over and back as Jermaine Sanders brought it across the timeline. Now it's the freshman kicking into the corner. Dixon, 3-ball. He was knocked down, didn't get the call. Miami corrals the rebound. And again, a chance for the Red Hawks trailing by 4.
This is that lull that UC gets in defensively. They find themselves in trouble because they start getting tired because they have to play more guys, longer minutes, and they stop taking things away. And this is the defensive supremacy that we talked about they want to reestablish. They're unable to do that because they seem tired.
Sewell gets rid of it just before he got called for a travel. Shot clock down to 8. Mavunga trying to beat Gates to the lane, does not, steps back, puts it up, no good. But Kashmir Wright knocks the rebound, 32 mark. Since then, a 9-1 run, and a foul called on the inbounds pass, or?
Oh, yeah.
Yep, they got Jeremiah Davis just into the ball game. He picks up his first. That is the 4th team foul on the Bearcats. So simply a fresh shot clock, and then Miami a careless turnover there. Check Mooj defensively. That is the 6th turnover for Miami as Bill Edwards lost it out of bounds.
Yeah, too much offensively. I think he's going to utilize more of the pivot and the pump fake opposed to trying to cross over in such a small space.
See if the Bearcats can end the field goal drought. They do. Check Mooj, and he picks up a foul in the process.
That's the conversion that Coach Cronin's been waiting for. Shaq Mooj does a great job with his footwork, establishing position down low. And he uses the pump fake, and he finally finishes. He's capable of scoring. He didn't have a preseason. He was hurt the entire preseason. Didn't get a chance to work with the team, so his timing has been off. But Coach Cronin had originally slotted him as a starter, and you're starting to see him really start to pick up production clocks.
Free throw for Mooj does not fall through. He's 3 for 7 from the season, or from the stripe on the season. Talk about Mooj not having a preseason. He had like half a practice. Yeah. Sprained his ankle in literally the very first practice for Cincinnati, and high ankle sprain. And Coach Cronin certainly did not want to rush the process of getting him back onto the hardwood and lose him long term.
Oh, that's a mismatch.
Driving to the lane, Mavunga gets rid of it to Drew McGee, and he takes an extra step, caught for a travel. 7th turnover for Miami. McGee doesn't agree.
I think UC has to go zone principles whenever Mavunga catches the ball because he's so good with the pivot. He's so good with the pump fake and the ball placement that he is losing guys before he even puts a dribble down.
Kashmir Wright running the point for the Cats. Deion Dixon underneath, trying to go high off the window again. Mooj there to clean it up. Putback won't go through. 2 missed opportunities on good looks for Cincinnati. Quickly, Rollins ends end-to-end gets his first 2 of the night.
Yeah, the guard's got to be tougher than that. You can't let a guard come all the way down the floor and shoot a layup without running somebody over or getting knocked to the floor.
Back to a 4-point lead for Cincinnati. 12, the largest advantage thus far for the red and black. Cash getting to the lane, puts it high. Gates comes flying in again. Unmarked.
Mavunga is not having his best game against some of these big guys. I mean, obviously he's the guy they look for defensively as far as rebounding wise. But you also have to look at the other guys that they're bringing in this game. They're just not doing a great job on the glass.
It's not a surprise. Yancey Gates has been at Cincinnati for 4 years.
Yeah, but Yancey is hungry to try to reestablish himself, and he's trying to increase his production, so he's going to be hungry on the glass.
Well, he's a senior who's not happy about the Bearcats' loss to Marshall on Friday night. Wants to get back to the Cats' winning ways, improved to 4-2, and he's doing his part thus far with 2 huge putbacks. Right now, Cincinnati by 6, as Davis brings it into the forecourt.
And they got to clear out of here, and he's got to be able to probe. Oh, that's a charge.
Mooch all alone after knocking over his defender, turns, converts. Mooch now with a new career high at 4. Charlie Cole.
Immediate help side defense.
Well, there's a reason we're sitting here, and those men are wearing the stripes out there, and I'm not trading positions with them. You can do whatever you need, but I'm going to stay right here. We'll let them make the calls, and we'll make the calls on what's going on out on the hardwood. Mavunga getting the pass, picking up 2 more. I'll tell you this much, he's into double figures with 10.
I think right now you're going to have to see Gaines inserted into this game.
3-pointer won't fall from the corner, but Dixon able to get the offensive rebound.
And Gaines is going to have to block some shots as a help side defender. That's the reason why he
came in on that last whistle. Yeah,
I'm on the bench looking for him, and he's on the floor. That's the reason he's in the game.
Cash right, 3-ball. Falls off, no. Jackson got to the rebound, but stepped on the baseline as he was touching the basketball. Miami will take over with exactly 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Cincinnati leading the 148th meeting with Miami by 6.
What I'd like to see right now is a one-on-one defensive action with Justin Jackson, my best low post defender, against Mavunga. I'd like to see him take the chance of shutting down the top player.
Brian Sullivan hammers home a wide open 3-pointer. He's on the board for the first time tonight. Came in averaging 7 points per game. Just like that, cuts the Bearcats deficit in half, and it's a 1-possession game with 3:30 to play.
It's funny because Miami makes the game look ugly. I mean, they execute their game plan to perfection, but it makes the other team look ugly, and you see a turnover right there because of communication, lack of communication with Kilpatrick and Justin Jackson.
4 turnovers for Cincinnati. Miami with a 3 here could tie this ball game. They have not led. Cincinnati has had the advantage throughout. Jumped out to a 12-point lead, but the Redhawks have fought back. Give them credit. Brian Sullivan trying to tie it up. 3-pointer's going to rattle off. Gaines corrals the rebound from Cincinnati. Right quickly to Kilpatrick. Cashmere over to the left wing. Gives it off Dixon. Here's Justin Jackson on Mavunga. Turns too strong, but another offensive rebound. And 2 more on a second chance opportunity. This time it's Sean Kilpatrick.
On the right block, Justin Jackson is not a back to the basket player. He should catch it, back out, face his opponent a lot. Most post players cannot play defense with a guy facing them. They can play back to the basket because they can push and they can do all this other stuff. But if you face the guy, it makes him get in the defensive stand, easily gives you a shot opportunity.
Mavunga already in double digits. Pretty moves with 2 defenders and laid it up and in.
Oh, looked like Doc Rivers, Alex English, old school Saturday morning YMCA basketball. That's what he's got.
He put some English on it, putting it through. 12 for Mavunga. He has been in double figures every game this season.
Yeah, he's looking at a 24-point game right here.
Jackson working it around. Now it's Kilpatrick. He's fouled in the lane. Basketball players come through there.
And Charlie also coached Dan Marley at Central Michigan.
Justin Jackson hops into the lane, then he is quickly defended, and the Bearcats will bring it out to Cashmere right and reset. Couldn't find the quick bucket. Right now with a 3-point lead, so it's a one-possession game as we get into the waning moments of the first half. Poked away. Quentin Rollins got a hand on it. Gates was trying to give it to Deion Dixon.
And this UC team looks a little bit winded. They've played 9, but only sparingly they played 3. They've been going basically with 6 players. And so you don't see them sprint down in transition. You don't see them doing anything that requires extensive energy.
Into the corner it goes to Gwynn. Shot clock is down to 7. Jackson thought about a 3, did not take it, then gave it over to Kashmir Wright. He couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, so you're seeing a lack of concentration, lack of focus, and this is exactly the kind of game that Miami wants. They're slated for the 50s. They're playing their tempo. They're playing a game where UC looks like they're making a lot of mistakes, and UC's making some mistakes, but they only have 5 turnovers. But this is the way Miami makes you look.
And Charlie Coles told us before the game, he said, everybody always asks him, why are you a defensive coach? He said, I haven't always been a defensive coach. I was a high school coach in Saginaw, Michigan, and when I was a high school coach, we scored points. And we got to Central Michigan, and now it's my first head coaching job, and we scored points. Miami scores 2 more points right there from Julian Mavunga. Guess who? He has 14, and now Terry with less than a minute to play in the half. Cincinnati's lead all the way down to 1.
Yeah, I'd like to see Kilpatrick get involved in the game right now. He's got to create something right now.
Well, he has an opportunity to do that on the left wing. Gonna drive, push it off the window. No, Jackson can't come away with the rebound. 1 second differential between game clock and shot clock. I think Charlie Coles just told the Red Hawks, hold the basketball, you have a chance to take the lead into the locker room at the half. Right now, Miami on a 9-2 run over the last now almost 5 minutes.
What you don't want to do is give up penetration right now and leave a wide open shot in the corner to Brian Sullivan. He's already banged one down. So you want to stay man principles and stay disciplined.
8 seconds remaining. Here comes potentially the last shot of the half. Who are they going to give it to? Julian Mavunga. One of the shot clock. He banks in a 3. That was too late. It wasn't out of his hands in time. He had no idea.
Yeah.
Charlie Coles, he's not arguing with what happened. He's arguing because Jonathan Mavunga didn't know.
You throw it to the high post to Yancey. Yancey catch it, turn around. Now they're doubling Yancey right now.
Bearcats executed a play like this very well in a win at St. John's last season before the half. It was a big bucket because that was a tight ball game. And I believe it was Yancey Gates who converted the shot at the half off a pass. They're going to determine where it came from. So they're going to mark it from where the shot was. So Justin Jackson basically will be 2 steps away from head coach Mick Cronin as he brings it in. There is time to turn and shoot. 1.7 on the clock. Jackson going to fire it for Kilpatrick. He bounces it off. Heads up play there.
Smart.
Kilpatrick was going to fall out of bounds. He gets it off Sewell.
Now most people in America, most coaches and teams has a play right here where a guy comes off a double screen from the top for a lob to the basket.
9/10 left, so still enough time for the Bearcats. Appears they'll take a lead to the half. Kilpatrick launches the 3, does not fall through. Trying to get the foul call.